Good morning to all. Today we are moving to the last topic of this chapter, and that is about a change involves energy. So in the last few classes we were discussing about the different types of changes. So which are the different types of changes? Desirable changes, undesirable changes, reversible changes, irreversible changes, physical changes and chemical changes. So these are the different types of changes. So now let's discuss about a change involves energy. So whenever a change occurs, energy is used. So whenever a change happens, energy is used. So you take a paper and just stare it. Are you using an energy? Your body uses energy. So some changes also release energy. So whenever a change occurs, energy is used. So when we burn a wood, what happens? It undergoes a chemical change and light and heat energy is formed. So whenever a change happens or whenever a change occurs, energy is used. This may be a change in light, heat or other forms of energy. So by adding or removing heat, we can change the state of matter. So let's discuss this example. Solid, on heating, it changes the state of matter. That is, by adding heat, the state of matter can change. So solid, on heating, what happens? It changes to liquid. This ice, on heating, it changes to water. So on heating, the solid state of matter changes to the liquid state of matter. So when we add heat, so by adding heat, the state of matter change. Then water, that is the liquid state of matter, when it is heated, what happens? Does it change the state of matter? Yes, it changes into water vapor. That is the gaseous state of matter. So by adding heat, the state of matter can change. So solid, on heating, it changes to liquid. And liquid, on heating, what happens? It changes to gas. So by adding heat, the state of matter can change. Then, what about when we remove heat? Will the state of matter change? Yes. So by removing heat, the state of matter can also change. On cooling, the water vapor changes to water. That is, gas, it changes to liquid state of matter. So by removing heat, the state of matter can change. That is, water vapor changes to water. That is, gas changes to liquid state of matter. Then, water, when it cools down, it changes to solid. So water, when it cools down, it changes to ice. That is, water, which is the liquid state of matter, that changes to the solid state of matter. On cooling, that is by removing heat. So by removing heat, gas changes to liquid and liquid changes to solid state. So whenever a change happens, energy is involved. So that is about this topic. Then you have about the great scientist Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier. So he was a French nobleman and a chemist who has greatly contributed for the development of both chemistry and biology. And he is also considered as the father of modern chemistry. So this is about the great scientist. So he was a nobleman and he was a chemist and he contributed greatly in the field of biology and chemistry. And he is considered as the father of modern chemistry. Now you have an activity in page number 75. That is the activity zone and project zone. So read it carefully and try to do it. And once you are done, you can submit in Microsoft Teams. So we are done with this chapter and you have an exercise. So you have exercise in page number 72 till 74. So go through the exercise and complete the exercise. So you can submit your activities in Microsoft Teams. So we are done with the chapter changes around us. So in this chapter we discussed about the different types of changes. So we can see different types of changes around us. So some changes are useful to us, which we call it as the desirable change. Some changes are not useful to us, which means they are not beneficial to us, which we call it as undesirable changes. Then we discussed about reversible changes, the changes that can be reversed to its original form, the changes that can be undone. So such changes we call it as reversible changes. Then we discussed about irreversible changes, that is changes that cannot be reversed, changes that cannot be undone. So they are irreversible changes. Then we discussed about physical and chemical changes. And a physical change, only its physical property changes, which is mostly reversible, and it is a temporary change. And in chemical change, we discussed the chemical properties of a substance change, and it is a permanent change and a new substance is formed. These are the different types of changes. So I hope this chapter was clear to you. So we'll meet in the next class and we'll start a new chapter. Till then, thank you.